Now to our discussion segment, which is on flood control and mitigation. And I have with me in the studios Engineer Aliyu Ahmad, who is the Director, Dams and Reservoir, Ministry for Water Resources, Sokoto State. Sir, you are welcome to Panorama this afternoon. Okay, let me begin by asking you on the main causes of flooding and how can we mitigate them?
Okay, actually the main causes of flooding are categorized into two. We have the natural causes and we have the artificial causes, which are the man-made causes.
Okay.
The natural causes are as a result of the rainfall or river overflow or collapse of the dams and related problems like that. When we look at the artificial causes, we will see that these are the man-made activities, that is like draining, the cleaning of our culverts and drainages, lack of town planning. We can also consider urbanization, like expanding of the town, which can lead to flooding if you do not take care of the drainage system in the settlement. So these are part of the artificial causes.
Okay. So how can climate change and weather pattern impact flooding?
Actually, climate change impact flooding because you see a lot of changes. Maybe the kind of rain you receive in the last 10 years is not the kind of rain we are receiving now. So there are a lot of changes. And once there is a heavy rainstorm, all our reservoirs and the rivers will have a lot of water and they will be flowing. So there must be a kind of changes. These are the changes of the climate change. Once there is a heavy rainstorm, you have to know that yes, there will be a possibility of having flood.
Okay, so what are the most vulnerable areas of flooding and why?
The most vulnerable areas are the low areas. That is the areas that are living in the lowlands. They are the most vulnerable to flooding more than the areas that are living in the highlands. Once there is a discharge from the river or runoff or dams, you should know that those areas that are living at the lowland, they are the most vulnerable to the flooding.
Okay.
Yeah, and the mitigation is sensitization, quite all right. You have to sensitize them to stop erecting building in the waterways. Once you erect a building in the waterways, you should know that once there is a flood, you have to leave that place or you will be a casualty.
Okay, so how can individuals and communities prepare for flooding?
First of all, you have to adhere to the warnings of the agencies that are giving signals of flood. Once there is a signal of flood, you should know that yes, it's true. That is number one. Number two, you have to prepare yourself. You have to be desilting your culverts and the drainages in front of your houses. You have to avoid putting any structure in the waterways. And in terms of preparation, even in the farmlands, what you have farm, you should cultivate them in time because when flood comes, it will wash them away. All these are the terms of preparedness before the flood.
Okay, so what are the short-term and long-term effects of flooding to communities and ecosystem?
Long-term and short-term effects, I consider them, it could be even the same because once there is a flood, you should know that yes, if care is not taken, there will be loss of life and there will be loss of farm produce. And it will wash away all the farms and sometimes even the hydraulic structures like bridges, like culverts, like drainages, all of them will be washed away, and destruction of houses. There will be a lot of casualty and structures worth millions of naira and the farm produce will be destroyed. So this is part of it. And also you can you should know that the victims will have a psychological problems after the flooding, and there is financial commitment at the part of the government and also the victims of the flood.
Okay, so how accurate flood prediction models, and what are their limitations also?
The accuracy of flood predictions model depends on the accuracy of the meteorological equipment and the performance of the hydrological model. You know, this equipment, they are the one they are using to predict floods. And most of their predictions are almost 80 to 90% correct. Like this year, they predicted 17 local governments out of 23 local governments in Sokoto State will be affected by flood. And when His Excellency, the Executive Governor, set a committee to go and investigate, even before the onset of the rainy season, we discover the first local government to be affected is not even among the local government predicted. It's Gada local government, which is not among the 17 local government predicted. So actually, the prediction is close to accurate. It's almost accurate, but sometimes it will vary. It will be even more than that or less than that. It depends on the accuracy of their meteorological services equipment. And generally, we used to see that every prediction they made, it comes true. Yeah.
Okay. What are the most effective measures to mitigate flooding, and how can they be implemented?
The most effective measures to mitigate flooding is to embark on the construction of hydraulic structures, like construction of more axe dams, renovating them, construction of the drainages, culvert, even in the towns. There are flash flood in the town. You should make sure that you desilt your drainages at the metropolis and allow the waterways to pass. And if there is any blockage in the culvert, you desilt them. And if the government can put more structures of how to alleviate this flooding, like this culvert and other things in place, actually it will reduce the impact of flood.
Okay. We thank you so much, sir, for having your time to Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
I have been talking with Engineer Aliyu Ahmad from Ministry of Water Resources here in Sokoto, and we have been talking on flood mitigation.